Montana. We are lucky to call it home. Discovery and adventures are around every corner of our state. The vibe is different here. When looking for a local, homegrown Montana bank, look no further. Stockman Bank, Montana's brand of banking.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Haven Rising, Becoming More. My name is Sarah Beth Reese, and I'm proud to serve as chairman of Haven's Capital Campaign. I also had the privilege of sitting on Haven's board for 6 years, most recently as chairman of the board. and I thank you for joining us this evening. Before we get started, I want to draw your attention to the small blue dot you can see in the bottom of your screen. This is not a glitch. Every 2.5 seconds, someone experiences domestic violence. We include this here so we can be reminded throughout the program just how pervasive this problem really is. We also share it to honor survivors, remember those who have lost their lives at the hands of an abuser, and think of those who are still experiencing violence in their homes. Tonight, we have viewers across the country tuning in, rising up against domestic violence and sexual assault. We are inspired, grateful, and humbled by the outpouring of support. 2020 has been a year of heartbreak and uncertainty. It has also been a year that has shown us the strength of community. We have a responsibility to protect each other, to empathize with those in need, and bring light to those who are hurting. We may all be living through COVID-19, but we are also experiencing a shadow epidemic of domestic violence. To support those dealing with such violence and pain, Haven is working to build a new shelter to provide a safe space and resources to those who need it. This problem is pervasive in every community around the world. It impacts all of us, and 1 in 3 women and 1 in 7 men will experience domestic violence or sexual assault in their lifetimes. That's 1 in 5 people. We need to do better. It matters. I'm grateful to all of you for showing up tonight, because tonight we celebrate and honor survivors.
Before we begin tonight, we feel it is essential to acknowledge, recognize, and offer respect to Indigenous people, and specifically to those whose land we occupy. We acknowledge that we live, work, and recreate on the unceded territory of the Abzaliga, Salish, Kisanka, Omskopi Piguni, Tsitsas, and Ogaidika peoples. You may know them from their anglicized tribal names: the Crow, Bitterroot Salish, Montana Kootenai, the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Northern Cheyenne, and the Lemhi Eastern Shoshone. These peoples were and are the first stewards of the land on which we reside. Their communities have called this land home for more than 13,000 years. This formal acknowledgement does not take the place of authentic and personal relationships with Indigenous communities and individuals, but serves as a first step in honoring the land and peoples where Haven operates as an organization. We would like to take this time to invite you to identify the Indigenous lands you occupy. If you don't know which Indigenous communities and traditional tribal land you occupy, please head to nativeland.ca to find out now.
There's been a significant spike in domestic violence during the coronavirus pandemic.
If you're in an abusive household or a potentially abusive household,
you or someone you know is experiencing abuse.
Gallatin County is struggling with an increase in domestic violence cases.
We're seeing reports of spikes in domestic violence and abuse around the world.
To all survivors, we see you, we hear you, and we believe you. Hello, my name is Michelle Skinner, and I have the honor of serving as Haven's board chair. Before we get started, there are a few people I'd like to thank. First and foremost, thank you to our presenting sponsor, Stockman Bank. Thank you also to our corporate sponsors, Bozeman Health and First Security Bank. I also need to acknowledge our extraordinary Haven staff for their tireless work supporting survivors. Haven could not do all that it does without you. You may have tuned in tonight because Haven's mission is close to your heart. Or maybe you tuned in because you wanted to learn more. No matter the reason you are here, we welcome you. Haven serves and empowers survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, sex trafficking, and stalking. We provide a 24-hour support line, emergency shelter, which you'll hear more about in a bit, legal advocacy, counseling, survivor advocacy, and support groups. Last year, Haven answered more than 5,000 calls requesting help. That's nearly 14 calls per day. Haven works with survivors to empower them to do what is best for their unique situation. This can look different for each person. It may look like moving into a shelter, it may look like counseling, or this could potentially look like filing an order of protection. Domestic violence does not discriminate. It impacts all races, genders, ages, sexual orientations, family structures, and social classes. It is here, and it is an epidemic. Domestic violence is not just a women's issue, it is a public health crisis. Haven is here. Thank you for joining us in this work. And now I'd like to welcome Governor Steve Bullock.
I'm Governor Steve Bullock, and I'm so happy that so many of you have come together to support Haven. Haven provides critical services for survivors. This work has truly saved more lives than we can count. And perhaps as important as the services and shelter Haven provides hope and sends a strong message to abusers that they can't hide and will be held accountable for their actions. And Haven does more than advocate for survivors of domestic and sexual violence. Haven empowers them to advocate for themselves. I'm happy to have such a strong organization in our state and hope that, like me, you value their role in keeping our communities safe and restored. Thanks so much for supporting Haven.
We have two beautiful little girls, and I'm so happy that my life turned out the way it did.
Vito. It says library book tomorrow.
I grew up in a small town called Ennis. Towards the end of college, I met a guy, and it turned out to be an abusive relationship. It really changed me as a person. So there are a lot of things that I go through that trigger me, and it's hard. People think you're 10 years out of a relationship, you should be good, right? But not always. Probably never. Even when you find like the most amazing husband and have a beautiful family, you still deal with the repercussions of what you went through. And teaching my girls about how they deserve respect and how other people should be treating them. I definitely always consider what I wasn't taught. When I joined Havens in the silence, I had never told my story, and that was because domestic violence isn't something people typically want to talk about. I think it's kind of a dirty little secret, and it's been quite the journey for me in learning how to tell my story and learning how to own it and be proud of where I am now. And I think that part is just, it's life-changing.
Put on your
knows me, no one ever will. If I don't say something, if I just lie still, would I be a monster, scare them all away? If I let them hear what I have to say, I can't keep quiet, no, I can't keep quiet, no, a one-person riot, no, I can't keep quiet for anyone, no, not anymore, 'cause no one knows me, no one ever will. If I don't say something, take that dry blue pill, they may see a monster, they may run away, but I have to do this. I can't keep quiet, no, I can't keep quiet, no, a one-person riot, no, I can't keep quiet. There'll be someone who understands. Now let it out now. Must be someone who understands. Now let it out now. There'll be someone who understands. Let it out, let it out, let it out now. I can't keep quiet, no, I can't keep quiet, no, I can't keep quiet, no, 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 I won't keep quiet.
Good evening, folks. My name is Missy O'Malley, and in normal circumstances, I would be coming to you as a live auctioneer, but it's not exactly a normal year, is it? I was introduced to Haven in my young 20s when I went through a really tough and dark patch, and I had some of their services and some of their support. And in the last 15 years, I've had numerous friends and family members that have had Haven's support. So this cause is very near and dear to my heart, and I'm very, very honored to be with you tonight. We are here tonight for the survivors. As we mentioned, it's been a roller coaster of a year. And tonight, you have the opportunity to give back to Haven. You have the opportunity to make a donation, to make a world of difference in these people's lives right here in your Southwest Montana community. Also, if you're tuning in with us now, you have the opportunity to witness the new renderings for the new shelter that's been a part of our capital campaign. So let's take a look.
In 1979, Haven was created by a group of concerned community members who believed that every person should have a safe place to go when help was needed. Now, more than 40 years later, Haven has grown into an organization that works with survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, sex trafficking, and stalking. The majority of survivors come to us from Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, and North and South Dakota, with dramatically increasing numbers from Indigenous communities.
We typically work with more than 1,000 survivors each year. This is tough but deeply meaningful work, and our team pours their hearts and souls every day into helping those who need support. With the global pandemic, however, we've seen an increase in people asking for our help and services like we've never seen before. When the stay-at-home order was lifted in Montana, we saw a 1,000% increase in the number of requests for emergency shelter. It was a shocking number.
Haven offers a variety of services, including a 24/7 support line, emergency shelter, personal and legal advocacy, one-on-one counseling, and support groups. Our services are tailored to meet the needs of individuals. Many of our participants are in difficult situations. Our focus is to encourage them to take the power back. Our goal is to walk along survivors in their journey, elevating their voices and empowering them to make their own choices. My position at Haven is to provide advocacy and emotional support to those staying at shelter, as well as answering the support line. But with the state of the current shelter, much of my role is navigating frequent shelter repairs. Our participants deserve a safe and dignified space to heal. They need a shelter that is designed to foster growth through adequate amenities and a supportive environment.
Haven Shelter has been a mainstay in Bozeman for a long time. Purchased in 1982, it has offered a safe haven to those who need one for more than 38 years. But today, despite our best efforts to keep it up, the shelter is aging. Time and use have taken a cruel toll. The shelter also only offers 12 beds. It's just not enough. The limited space forces us to pay for hotel rooms for survivors. Last year alone, we provided people with a total of 204 nights in hotels, an 84% increase over the number of nights the previous year. Our community has come together for so many great causes. But now it's time we pool our resources and build a great facility for our people. Haven Shelter should not only be a place of refuge for survivors, it should also serve as a place to heal while living comfortably. We all deserve a place to go when we need help.
The campaign for a new shelter has been in the works for years. Our process has been thoughtful, careful, and intentional. JLF architects generously led us through a charrette process on a pro bono basis. They worked with us to define our program needs, a detailed budget, and helped us lead a design competition that resulted in the selection of Mass Design Group to lead the design of our new facility. The final selection of Mass was determined with input from the community, survivors, our partners, staff, and board.
Our priority at Mass is amplifying the mission of our partners towards justice, dignity, and community health. We're privileged to get to work with Haven to implement trauma-informed design principles with an aim of creating a space for safety, healing, and a community of solidarity. The site for Haven's new facility is near Bozeman Pond. The landscape plays an integral role, embracing the community on the entryway. The site is designed to welcome the community while still prioritizing the confidentiality and the security of the participants. Haven's front door will lead to a community space that supports events and a living room that welcomes survivors' family, friends, and support network. The design supports Haven's full-framed model of care. The biggest decision was to create suites of bedrooms that can be flexible to accommodate different survivors' needs, including spaces for children. Each suite of rooms is adjacent to a different type of living room. Spaces for quiet, spaces for children, spaces for gathering. The communal kitchen brings together people for a critical act of building community, one of breaking bread. The community space looks out into a courtyard that is accessible and a sheltered place for gathering. And on the south side of the residence, a more private garden for survivors.
At Bozeman Health, our mission is to improve community health and quality of life. We depend on strong partnerships, like the one we have with Haven, to advance this work every single day. The truth is, the rates of domestic violence are too high in our communities. Fear, intimidation, and violence interrupt the basic human right that we all share, to live and thrive in the communities we call home. Haven is a powerful and intentional leader in the fight to end domestic violence. Their approach is holistic, looking to understand and address the root causes of violence, working to dismantle cycles of oppression, and, most importantly, advocating for, supporting, and providing resources for survivors. While our shared goal will always be to prevent violence from occurring, building capacity and space to serve more of those most in need is vital for the health of our community. Haven's new facility will be a beacon for our region, a safe home for many of our neighbors, a convener for community, and a reminder that we've all got work to do. It's no surprise that Haven, with their demonstrated success in building meaningful partnerships, took the same approach to the design process. Staff, stakeholders, and survivors all came together for several months of intense and intentional work. As a result, this new facility represents the ideas, values, and needs of our community.
The campaign for a new shelter for Haven is underway. We need you. It is no longer an option not to do this. Our survivors deserve it. We have the land, we have the architect, and we have the contractor. Join us. Make the commitment. It's time. Thank you to Mass Design Group for that sneak peek at Haven's future. I also want to thank JLF Architects for facilitating our design competition. This was an important part of the process, and we would not be here tonight without them. We also wouldn't be here without the hard work of Sophie Garcelon, Haven's development director, and our capital campaign committee. This group has worked tirelessly to make the dream of a new space a reality for survivors. Tonight, we publicly announce our campaign for the first time. Our current shelter houses 12 survivors. It is a single-family home, one that has been repurposed as a shelter and is, frankly, not enough for survivors. We once had a mother and her 2 children get up the courage to ask for help. But when they arrived at our shelter and saw its condition, they turned around, unwilling to stay there. We have to do better. Our new shelter will house up to 40 survivors. This space will be open to all genders, survivors' children, and even their pets. This shelter will be in a public location. It's time to stop hiding. Right now, friends and family members aren't allowed to visit those staying in our shelter. That's not any way to heal. But in the new shelter, space will be provided for visitors. And as an added bonus, our new shelter puts us close to a trail system, grocery store, bus stop, a bank, a park, and brings us back to the community. We can't wait to break ground, to open our doors and welcome survivors to the space they deserve to heal. But we can't do any of this without you. During the past few years, we've worked with our partners to get started on this project. We've celebrated passing the halfway point in fundraising. We've celebrated selecting architects and contractors, and every step has involved input from survivors. But now it's your turn. Help us get to the finish line. I'm thrilled to announce that a longtime Haven partner and one of our very first donors to this project has agreed to match dollar for dollar every donation you make tonight. It's a significant and meaningful commitment. And any gift you make tonight brings us closer to our new shelter. Tonight is the night that we rise up, become more, and make this shelter happen.
Good evening. I'm Laura Linney, and I'm proud to be here tonight to help Haven Rising, to help prevent domestic violence, and to support survivors. Domestic violence knows no boundaries. It affects every age group, every race, all genders, sexual orientations, and socioeconomic classes. Rates of domestic violence are skyrocketing during this pandemic as more people are quarantined at home. We hear about this on national and international news focused on big cities, but domestic violence affects every community. It is likely most everyone watching tonight knows someone who has experienced domestic violence. I'm here tonight to help spotlight rural areas and communities like Bozeman, where domestic violence is often underreported and under-resourced. Survivors everywhere need our support and our commitment to lifting their voices now more than ever. It is essential that we come together, use our resources, and let survivors know we stand with them. To survivors, you matter. We believe you. We honor you, and we celebrate your courage. We stand with you. Tonight, I hope all of you watching will join me and stand together in supporting survivors by helping Haven build a new shelter, a new home where survivors can heal. It takes all of us to make our communities safer. Join me in standing up and saying no more to domestic violence. Together, we can end domestic violence. It's time.
Peace and blessings, everyone. Andrew Day here. This time is just inexplicable. And like you guys, I'm, devastated at the loss of life as a result of this pandemic. I'm also heartbroken at how many people are at home dealing with domestic violence and child abuse right now as a result of being trapped in their homes because of this pandemic. And so I thank you all so much for dedicating and sometimes risking your lives to help those dealing with domestic violence and child abuse seek safety and seek justice during this time. This song is for you guys and for the victims.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And our eyes up, the day, our eyes up, our eyes unafraid, our eyes up, and I do it 1,000 times again for you, silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains, bring it to its feet and and our eyes up, our eyes like the day, our eyes up, our eyes unafraid, our eyes up, and I do it 1,000 times again for you, spite of the ache, I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up high like the waves, and we'll rise up spite of the ache. We'll rise up and we'll do it 1,000 times again. Woo! Thank you so much, y'all. God bless. Mwah. Bye.
Absolutely unbelievable. I can't believe it. We had Andra Day, Laura Linney, Governor Bullock. I mean, this has been an all-star cast with especially a bunch of local advocates and people that believe in Haven. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in tonight. You've made it to our live portion. I'm Missy O'Malley with our chairman of the board of the Capital Campaign, Sarah Beth Reese, sitting 6 feet a healthy distance away from me.
Healthy distance. Mwah. Hello.
I am just blown away with this program. I cannot thank you and your team enough. And there's a couple of other thank yous that we really would like to say
Please.
that have made this vision come off the ground. What you can't see behind us here, the cameras, 3 very handsome gentlemen from Jericho Studios. We have Esteban, Pat, and Matt here just making this all come to life. On top of that, Ben Pierce from Brickhouse Creative, who has just put all these beautiful videos together. We cannot thank him and his team enough. And in the music box for the live video production so we could be in your homes tonight in a safe way to still broadcast this event, which again, I can't say it enough how impressed and how honored I am to be here. So
thank you, Missy. It's so kind of you to say, well, we're so thrilled you're here, the great Missy O'Malley. And there is one other shout out we really need to give, and that is to Megan Lochner. Megan Lochner, for those of you who don't know her, is our events manager at Haven. And without her behind the scenes, none of this would be happening. And I know her family is watching, so I want to give a shout out to her. We are so lucky to have you as part of the team. Megan, thank you for making this happen. But yes, this is extraordinary. Missy, I couldn't be more excited. It just warms my heart to watch all of that.
And it's not exactly the event that we had planned a year ago.
No, it's not.
We're
It's not
together in person. However, this is our own spin on Taste of Haven.
It is, absolutely. And it's actually, this works out perfectly. We actually do an event every October, as many of you know. And we do it in October because October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So this is a very meaningful time for us to do this. And no, it's not what we planned. Normally we'd be live in an event venue. But when we realized that it wouldn't be right to ask all of you to gather in person, we made the call. We decided to do something different. And we realized how much more we can do.
It's unbelievable.
So it's really exciting. So thank you to all of you for being here so much.
Now, this is also really exciting because, of course, we've just announced the Capital campaign. Right. And talking about the shelter, may I publicly ask where exactly we are?
That's a great question, Missy. And that is why we're here. In fact, of our $8 million Capital campaign, we've raised 65%, which is nearly $5.5 million. That's a huge deal. And what's even more extraordinary is to raise that money during a global pandemic. This is so meaningful. It just shows you how much all of you at home, the entire community, has come together to make this happen. And I also just want to point out, we have people watching tonight from all over the country and even the world. We have people watching in Australia, New Zealand, from New York to Oregon to Minnesota to Florida, and everywhere. So this is a really big deal.
It is a big deal. And I love that you say we have 65% because that makes me feel sort of accomplished. Yeah. However, we've got a ways to go.
We do. We do have a ways to go, and that's why we're here tonight. But I do want to point out that as we mentioned in the program, our longtime partner and donor, the Candida Fund, has agreed to match dollar for dollar everything donated tonight. So anything you give tonight will be counted twice, which is a very big deal.
Very big deal.
Absolutely. But, honestly, you don't need to hear about all of this from me. What I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce one of our donors to talk to you a little bit more about why he gives. I'm so honored and grateful to introduce Paul Bertelli. Let's hear from Paul.
Haven has planted a flag in a place that not many people have.
Good. So we're going to go right into the 15.
Or are willing to do.
Yes.
And is there something we can do with your ear? Haven.
Oh, yes. Should I just take it off?
Is there to support
no
the community and support survivors in this issue. But I think there's a deeper mission.
So far, so good, guys?
Their place in this community. And that's actually to figure out how to prevent it. It's actually changing culture. And the culture in all of these communities, all of our communities, starts with children and their ability to affect the community at that level is where we're headed.
Fabulous message from Paul. Thank you for those brilliant words to kick this off. Sarah Beth, it's time to jump into this.
Let's do it.
We are here to raise some serious money tonight so we can get this shelter off the ground. And we're going to start it off with a pretty bold ask. We're going to ask a big gift. And my mom says, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So ladies and gentlemen, the way that this is going to work, we're going to start off with a number and we're going to work our way down, but you can feel free to text at any point in time. You text Haven 2020 to the number 243-725. Again, that is on your screen anytime. Feel free to jump in with those texts. But we're going to start it right here with a $15,000 gift. all going back to Haven, working on the security for the building. There's so many important factors. And again, we're starting off in a bold way.
We are, but it's very important that we do that because, as you said, if we don't ask, we don't get it.
That's right.
And you mentioned security, and I want to talk a little bit about that. That's something that has come up for us many times. A lot of people have asked, how are you planning to move to a shelter that is a disclosed location? For years, our shelter has been located in Bozeman, and it's been a secret location, and we've done that for the safety and security of our participants. And now, when we build this new shelter, it will be in a disclosed location. Why? Because as we said, it's time to stop hiding. There will be a police presence on site, 24-hour security. Our participants are going to be safe. And any money that we raise tonight will go toward security in the new shelter. So I'm glad you brought that up.
So I'm getting a little flag over here off the side of the camera. Again, this is a live event. This is Megan here, and she has a little note for us that we did just get our first $15,000. This is from Iris, your lovely Iris Modell. We love her so much. And this says, it is in honor of Sarah Beth Reese.
Oh, gosh.
She is donating this on your behalf.
Oh, my. Iris, thank you.
That's
Iris
incredible.
Thank you so much.
We didn't know if we were going to get that.
No,
and
we didn't.
This is a live event, and I am a little rattled right now because
what a big
you
gift.
don't want that to flop right away. And
No.
that is, we just secured that. I am just so blown away.
Iris, thank you.
Wow.
What a big deal. That's a meaningful gift, and it will be matched dollar for dollar this evening.
Wow.
Iris, thank you.
Absolutely incredible.
It is incredible.
Sarah Beth, I say that we kind of keep this program rolling.
Absolutely.
We've got
Let's
to hear from a few other
Let's hear
people.
from another donor. Now, let's move to hear from Joni Hall. Joni Hall is a friend and supporter of Haven. She is a active philanthropist in the Big Sky community, and she's one of the many people who stepped up and donated to Haven during COVID. Joni.
We are so fortunate to be in Montana. I love the days spent in the mountains and rivers and nights gazing at the stars. I can't imagine going from this beautiful scenery to a home where there's physical or emotional abuse. I've heard brave people share their stories and experiences that led them to the bravest step of all, contacting Haven. Haven changes lives, and Haven saves lives. We are so glad that their services exist in our community and are appreciative of all they do to help victims of abuse begin their new chapters. Thank you, Haven. We're honored to support you.
Joni is just a love. You can
she
feel
is.
the love in
feel
her
that energy.
demeanor. I love that. And what a great advocate, again, in the Big Sky area. That's
Absolutely.
just so wonderful to have her there. Folks, we are now moving to the $10,000 donation level. Again, feel free to text us at any moment in time with whatever your gift is tonight. And again, we just thank you so much for your generosity. But here we are at the $10,000 level. And one thing that I thought was so interesting, Sarah, that you mentioned a moment ago was the pets.
Yes, no, this is a really big deal. For a long time at the shelter that we have, so many survivors have given us the feedback that they were reluctant to come to shelter because they could not bring their dogs and cats with them. I understand. I wouldn't want to go anywhere without my dog. So a big part of the new shelter is actually the fact that in the new shelter, survivors seeking emergency shelter from Haven will be able to bring their dogs and cats with them. This is a very big deal.
That's a big
and there's
deal.
some money that needs to go into making the shelter pet friendly. So any donation tonight will also go to that, and again, match dollar for dollar.
Sarah Beth, I can't quite keep up. I wanted to start doing shout outs with some of these names. Kate and Graham Seener, Amber Hughes, Marika Holmgren. And again, I apologize if I'm saying any of these
Carly
names wrong.
Cook, Kate Malinowski. Yes, this is so exciting. Thank you all.
This is so
And I can't
exciting.
believe we're up to 54. This is unbelievable.
This is just so exciting. And again, I can't even quite keep up. We thought we'd have a little bit more time to go through all of this, but this is just incredible. Keep the donations coming.
Keep them coming.
This is
Absolutely.
just so exciting.
It really is.
And I do just want to touch back on the pets. I think that is such an important thing. And what a part of the healing process.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We all need our pets around us when we're healing.
Your pets
This is
are
a
your
big
family.
deal. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's hear from another donor.
Let's
What do you
hear
think?
from another donor.
Okay,
I love
this one,
this.
let's hear from Marissa Owen. Marissa is a real estate agent here in town, and one of the things that makes her really special is that Marissa has gone out of her way on behalf of Haven to bring her network together to support Haven with her. Marissa?
Hi, my name is Marissa Owen, and I live here in Bozeman with my husband, Morgan. We are new parents to a 4-month-old named Oliver, and I have been a donor to Haven for about 3 years now. Haven has done an incredible job about educating the public on so many fronts of what we see in the Gallatin Valley, and it's truly what they're doing is life-saving work. As a new mom, I can't imagine all of the children that have been deeply impacted by domestic violence and what those children could be challenged with, and feel comforted by the fact that Haven is in existence and is doing an amazing job partnering with so many organizations in town. And I will continue to be a part of Haven and continue to donate to their amazing organization, and feel so grateful to know about them.
Marissa, thank you so much for that. Thank you also to Tracy and Craig, Kathy Malone, David and Heather Burham. This is just so exciting. The gifts keep rolling in.
They just keep rolling in. Thank you to Mickey Dell for tuning in and giving.
Yes, this is so exciting. And once again, Marissa, thank you so much for those kind words. It is just so great to see all the different people that are supporting us, not only tonight, but year round. This is so exciting. We are now moving down to the $5,000 gift level. And again, if this level speaks to you, your business, your family, again, just feel free to text us at any time with any amount. $5,000 would go quite a ways on a night like tonight.
It would. Chris Coburn, my goodness, thank you so much for your gift.
And do you want to speak a little bit to maybe moving down to the $2,500 level?
Sure, let's do it.
That'd be great. The advocacy, that's one of the biggest things that Haven
advocacy
is known
is
for.
absolutely one of the biggest things that we do. And at Haven, advocacy is rooted in empowerment. We at Haven believe that survivors are the expert about their own experience and about their own safety. We approach advocacy with respect and trust in our survivors. And what does advocacy at Haven look like? It can look like our 24-hour support line. It can look like hotel and shelter options. It can look like providing legal advocacy that will help those participants, survivors, navigate systems that honestly aren't really set up for our most vulnerable populations to be able to navigate them easily. That's what we do at Haven. It's very important, and I'm so proud to be able to say that that's what we do on a daily basis. And without our team, it wouldn't be possible. So staff, thank you.
I also just want to throw in, we just got a $7,000 gift.
Oh my gosh.
So to backtrack a little bit, we've hit the $5,000 mark, the $2,500 mark, and now just another gift for $7,000.
Amazing, thank you.
I don't mean to interrupt.
No, interrupt
My
away.
excitement is just taking over right now. And Sarah Beth, we have another video, and
we do.
This woman really speaks to the cause.
Right. This is a really important one. This is Mary Dell Joyner. Mary Dell is a Haven supporter. She's a volunteer, and she's a survivor. Let's hear from Mary Dell.
Hi, my name is Mary Dell. I'm a retired CPA and a retired co-owner with my ex-husband of 5 ski shops. We retired and lived in our motorhome for 4.5 years. No, that's not the reason we're divorced. I found out that I was in an emotional and verbal abusive relationship. And it can happen to anyone. It can happen to a man, to a woman. It can happen to a child, whatever walk of life you're in or have been in. I knew something was wrong, but I just didn't know what, and I didn't know what to do. No visible marks, no bruises, it's all internal. Dead eyes, no joy, and no smile. I thought, I'm not good enough, and I can't. My counselor said I needed boundaries, and I didn't even know what that was, except, a fence to keep your dog safe. And I was desperate. I went to acupuncture, to individual counseling, marriage counseling, psychiatry, kinesiology, reading, and friends. I found out that, yes, I was in an abusive relationship.
What a powerful statement and story right there. Mary Dell, thank you so much for sharing that. Abuse can look like so many different things. And I do want to just say a quick shout out. Caleb Stewart, Ashley Reese.
My sister.
Kristen and Scott Bryant, Michael and Sharon Beeler, Aaron Downey, Renee, Angela Kujala. We love you so much. Thank you for sharing your story with us earlier tonight. This is just incredible. The gifts just keep on pouring in. And right now we're going to move to the $1,000 level. And Sarah Beth, you have a little prop.
I do
to
have a
show
little
us,
prop.
Here what's happening at this level.
You know, for everyone at home, as part of our campaign, tonight we launch a brick campaign. You've heard about these before, and we're doing one at Haven. So at the $1,000 level, if you'd like, you can buy a brick. And let me show you, I just got one, if I can pick it up. This is mine, Sarah Beth Rees, right here on my very own brick. If you'd like to, for $1,000, you can buy your very own brick. And these bricks will line the walkway up to the front door of the new shelter. This is a big deal. You can go online and buy them, or you can buy them through this program this evening.
I also think how powerful, as a survivor or as a visitor coming to see a family member, and you're walking down that entryway and you're seeing the amount of support.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And it's going to be so powerful to see all of those names for people who support not just Haven, but our Southwest Montana community.
Now we have another very powerful woman.
We do.
Carol, we love her so much. Would you like to introduce her?
I would love to.
Yes.
Carol Lalani is a dear friend. She's a longtime Haven supporter, a local philanthropist many of us know. So let's hear from Carol.
We should look after those who are going through something like this, we in the community, and help wherever we can, in whatever way we can, because there are people suffering. Every family, every child, and every animal should live in a safe environment. Domestic violence is unacceptable. It breaks my heart to think that there are children who actually live in fear of going home. So I think we, as a community, in this beautiful place where we live, if we can, we should do our part to help and support Haven. I've seen the plans, and I've sat in on the planning of the new facility for Haven. I think it will be wonderful. It will not be hidden away. Children can feel proud and happy to be going to a place where they can invite their friends. There will be resources, there will be gardens, and they can heal. It will be a beautiful place, and I think it's really needed. Everybody needs help in a situation like this, and it's a reality. And I think we all need to be part of this. So my husband and I have both decided that we want to help in whatever small way we can.
Carol, thank you so much. Thank you. And what I should say as we move down to the $500 level, Carol and Sal have generously offered to do a $5,000 match on top of the match that we already have. So for any of you who are able to give at the $500 level, your money will be matched 2-for-1. So if you give $500, Haven will receive $1,500. Carol and Sal, thank you for doing this.
There's another fun little perk at the $500 mark.
There is.
Now we saw your brick was an 8x8.
We did.
And we also have a brick half that size for a $500 gift.
Exactly. So similarly to if you wanted to buy a brick at the $1,000 level, you can also buy a brick at the $500 level. It will be half the size. So
you could buy numerous bricks at both levels.
Multiple
There's no
bricks.
stopping you. We will have as many bricks with your name or a loved one's name as you like.
And this will be something that is commemorated at the shelter forever.
It's incredible. Also, just want to say a big thank you, Melissa Edwards, Stephanie and James McDowell, Nick Burnham, Kelly Meredith, and Dylan LeBlanc, Marissa Owen. Thank you so much also for her video. And Mark Edwards, just again to name a few people as these bids are coming in live. This is just so exciting.
So meaningful. I can't believe we are where we are.
Okay, now we're going to move down to the $250 gift level. And this is wonderful. Every bit that you mentioned earlier, of course, is getting matched. This can really help out community education on top of other things. Sarah Beth, what an amazing gift this would be as well.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah. Shall we listen to another donor?
Let's listen to another donor.
Great. I think we have one more donor video to share with all of you. We're going to hear from Mallory Dabney. Mallory is the owner at Heyday. She is a longtime Haven supporter. Mallory.
My name is Mallory Dabney, and I am the owner of Heyday in downtown Bozeman. When I was asked why we as a business and as a family give to Haven, many reasons came to mind. First and foremost, I believe it is our responsibility as a community to care for one another, to listen, learn, continue learning, and step in when and where we can. Community has always been deeply rooted in the DNA of Heyday. During turbulent times, during a global pandemic, as we all find ourselves in right now, we're being told to shelter in place, stay home. Home for many is a safe place. It's a sanctuary. It's filled with love, warmth, comfort. However, what I've learned is that this is not the case for some in our own community. It's actually quite the opposite. It's dangerous, it's scary, it's a place where they've never felt so alone or so little. As a mother of two, as a friend, and as a peer and a colleague, this is a problem. This is why Haven is critical to the health and well-being of our community. Domestic abuse, domestic violence is not a woman's issue. This is not a political issue. This is a community issue.
Mallory, thank you so much. I think we've all spent a lot of time at Heyday.
We
and
have.
I will say they've done a great job during the pandemic, and they have just been doing a great job serving the community.
Oh, they really
and
have.
What a store to go also for some sanctuary. So Mallory, thank you so much for being such a supporter, and thank you for having such a wonderful location in downtown Bozeman. I have some really exciting news. We just received a $10,000 donation in honor of Sarah Beth Reese.
What?
You have just an aura about you. You have
my
just this
gosh.
presence. It's from an anonymous donor.
Oh.
And I just want to say your work on the board, your work on this campaign is just so unbelievable. You have people tuning in from around the world. And again, these are coming in live, and I'm just so blown away with the generosity tonight. So thank you for that.
Ever so much. Thank you.
Folks, we're down to our last little bit of the program, and we're going to just throw a couple of other numbers at you. Again, if these speak to you, we have the $100 level, the $50 level, as well as a $25 gift. Now, these gifts are still make such a gigantic impact.
Every dollar counts.
Absolutely.
For the work that we do, every single dollar counts. So whatever you can give is a meaningful gift to Haven. And we will make good use of it. And especially tonight with the mask, we will make good use. You have my word of every dollar that we raise tonight. Thank you.
I just want to say on behalf of our whole team here, this has been so exciting. It's been in the works since springtime.
Spring.
And I'm just so honored to be a part of tonight. Sarah Beth, it is an honor to sit next to you and to see the amazing work and your contagious spirit and how palpable it is in this room. It is tangible tonight.
Well, Missy, that is very kind coming from you. I feel the same way about you.
And thank you so much for everyone tuning in at home. The generosity is just absolutely pouring through the roof. Right now, we're sitting at $143,000.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
$152, and it just keeps on
It just
totaling
keeps
up.
coming. We can see it coming through. It's overwhelming. Thank
River
you
Rock
all.
Dental Group,
Liz Castle. Stay in stereo. Liz
I'm
Castle,
just so
thank
excited.
you. Thank you so much. And Missy O'Malley,
Well,
thank you very
of course,
much.
I'm just
How did you
honored.
do that while you're sitting here? How did that work? I don't know.
So Sarah Beth is going to guide us out. Now, this site is going to stay live for a while. If you didn't have the time to donate live in this period of chunk of time, of course, we will gladly take donations anytime
Absolutely.
at havenmt.org.
Exactly. And this will be up until we reach our goal.
155,000.
This is unbelievable. Now, to end, we don't want to keep you here all night. So to end, we have a very special song to share with you. And what makes it special is not just that it's the song Feeling Good, which is an incredibly appropriate way to end here this evening, but it's incredibly special because it's sung by one of the members of Haven's staff. Our very own program director, Asia, is going to see us out with a rendition of Feeling Good. And before she does, I just want to raise a glass. We have champagne sitting here. We should make use of it. Cheers.
Cheers to
Thank
you.
you so much to being part of this.
Cheers to
Thank
you
you
at
to all
home.
of you at home for joining us. This is so meaningful. We've done so well. Thank you and good night.
Birds flying high, you know, sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun. You know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done. That's what I mean. And this old world is a new world, and a bold world for me. And I'm feeling good. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Yes, I'm feeling so good.